Peace. I go by Nafir Nun. This is going to be a real brief one. I have a whole bunch of information, but this is really simple shit. Excuse my French. The topic today is blood diamonds or conflict diamonds or whatever you want to call them. The reason I'm even bringing this up is because I was watching some nonsense on television. Well, generally 99.9% of it's nonsense, but it was on the news. It's still an ad, but it was on the news. Now it was saying that the De Beers cartel or the De Beers, De Beers, they're under fire because they were using unethical marketing strategies. Now, it's laughable to me. It's really laughable to me because De Beers are the diamond guys. And if anybody knows anything about diamonds or has any, if they have a little bit of education beyond high school, I think high school would even suffice. Everybody knows that diamond is carbon. And they know that it's pressurized, hardened forms of carbon. From a kid, we knew that a piece of coal could turn into a diamond. Now, if every single thing on this planet is carbon-based, all life anyway is carbon-based, and, I've took chemistry courses. There's inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry, and there's not that many inorganic molecules compared to the organic molecules. So, basically every fucking thing on this planet is going to turn into a diamond at some point. So that means there's tons of them. So it's not scarce. So I knew that a long time ago, but either way, they try to perpetuate this idea that these diamonds are scarce and they're highly valuable. Now, and, people are upset because now they found out that there's a lot of diamonds on the planet and, they're not really as valuable as people once thought, but it's business. It's business. People think that Tide is better than Sunlight or Coke is better than Pepsi or, it's all the same shit with a different title. It's the same shit. So, to get upset at marketing, get upset at yourself for falling for the marketing. That's basically, Now, so that made me say to myself, why are they even making an issue about this right now? De Beers formed, in 1888. That's how much years ago, man. Seriously. You're talking about this now. The marketing campaign was in 1938. You're talking about this now? Seriously. What else is going on? Now, the thing that made me say to myself, well, if you guys are bringing this up, well, let's talk about this shit for a second. Is the blood diamond thing. They made movies about it. You always see people with, amputated limbs, and they're talking about these black warlords, and this shit is just bogus. Now, if you know what a blood diamond is, it's or a conflict diamond, or a hot diamond, or, a cooked diamond, or whatever the fuck they want to call that. Yeah, so there you see the definition of a conflict diamond, or a blood diamond, or whatever the hell, whatever. Now, so basically it's a diamond that the sale of which is used to fund an insurgency or a rebel army or an invading army, something negative in that realm. Now, that's what they say a conflict diamond is. An item, basically a diamond, whose sale further perpetuates invasion, insurgency. Now, what the fuck are Europeans doing in Africa? That wasn't an invasion? That wasn't an insurgency? And you're going to have the audacity to say that you can sell diamonds and they're sanctioned. Everything's fine. But if I was an African and I was stumbling over diamonds in my backyard, I couldn't sell them because it'd be a blood diamond. That's basically what's popping. And, it's appalling. It's appalling that you have these fools out here in the media and these black idiots, these monkeys out there, and it's these celebrities saying, oh, don't purchase blood diamonds, and hey, fuck off with your dumb shit. Like, we already know your tools, man. But, like, you're slapping us in the face and telling us you're kissing us. You're pissing in our mouth and saying it's water. Like, it's bullshit, man. On the highest levels, this blood diamond nonsense. And the only reason that the blood diamond is even an issue is because they have to make sure that Africa remains poor. That an African nation cannot, benefit from its mineral and natural resources, its wealth. So the only people allowed to benefit from the wealth of Africa are Europeans. Now that's straight bullshit. If an African is selling, like, okay, people will say, well, no, there's African leaders. And this video ain't for you guys at all. Because if you don't know that the leaders that have been set up in Africa, the ones that have been put there, are all puppets, are all marionettes of Babylon, or, I don't even like to see that word Babylon, because marionettes of European institutionalized white supremacy. If you don't know that, then, phooey on you. Like, you're ashamed of yourself and stuff, especially if you're a black guy or any indigenous being on this planet, because you know the track record. Any single place that the European has ventured, they conquer, destroy, and impoverish. And I'm not gonna say that all Europe is bad and all Europe, that would be dumb. That would be stupid for me to say that. We're all mixed up now. Everybody has peace. Everybody, but to say that everything is honky dory and that it's all fair right now. That's some bullshit straight there. And that would make me say, yeah, fuck the European white supremacy and generalize. And, sorry if I offend the one or two guys that are cool. Like, I truly apologize. Or the percentage of the Europeans that really feel strongly about fairness. But it's not fair. It's just not fair. And then for the label to be a blood diamond or conflict diamond under the penalty of, jail or amputation and, these things. And then you're going to say, well, then many people might say that it was the Africans doing this to the Africans. And yeah, on a level it is. But it didn't just happen like that. If you know anything about the Berlin Conference, if you know anything about King Leopold, and, if you know anything about De Beers, if you know anything about marketing, if you know anything about genetics, you'll know that it's not just, as simple as, well, it's just Africans killing off Africans, they're cutting off each other's hands. Look at what happens when an African leader tries to go against the establishment. They get Mugabe, they get Idi Amin. You understand? And everybody will say that Idi Amin, oh my god, he was a cannibal. And you dumb niggas, this shit ain't for you either. Watch the film Idi Amin Dada. Okay, watch that film. He did that documentary himself. He said that he knew that they were going to make a documentary about him later on. So he was going to do this one first just to counteract the bullshit that they would be dropping on him. So check that one out and then, cross-reference it with the shit the tripe that you watched in the big screens. Alright, now, this individual, for example, and I'm going to get off of this for a moment, but this individual, he was trained by the British intelligence, and he was put as a leader. They put him as a leader of Uganda. They said, here, you go be the leader. And he was like, all right, cool, I'll take care of the stuff for you guys. As soon as he got there, he said, yo, fuck every foreigner that's here. Any guy that's here that is not from here, trying to sell shit that's from here, you're gonna die. You need to leave now, and if you've caught working for any of these foreigners, execution by firing squad. Now people are going to say that guy's a jerk, but you know what? English have done it, the Romans have done it, like every single European nation that is concerned with autonomy, okay? And is concerned, off with his head. You ever hear that shit? Off with his head. That shit ain't African. So, for you to be going on oh, what Idi Amin is it's some dumb shit. It's again the same, perpetuated nonsense that black people can't manage their own shit and we need to have some white guy behind us, pulling the strings for us. And you know, it's simply not true. It's simply not true. Now, if you want some background on the De Beers, I'll put some up for you right now. Now, that basically was showing you, like, if you did a quick little read up as, that's basically showing you a small little tidbit that these guys monopolize the world diamond trade. But the whole thing is this. That's not the main important thing to grasp here. The important thing to grasp here is that the only way that European nations, okay, can maintain European white supremacy is to maintain the destabilization and to maintain the sufferation of the indigenous regions that they went and conquered. It's the only way that they can maintain their wealth, maintain their position in society. And so, do I fault them for doing what they're doing? No, I don't. I really don't. I fully feel them on that. When I, like, if you look at genetics, you'll understand that if they mix with us, well, Europeans, and we're all humans, but if Europeans mix with the dominant strain, then the offspring looks like the dominant strain. Now, I have children. If you want your child to look like you, when you like, everybody has these ideas, they have their fantasies, and they want a little me when they grow up and be a big man or a big woman. They want to have a little me walking around, right? Well, you think the European doesn't want to have a little me walking around too? Well, you can't have that little me walking around if that little me ain't looking like him. Like, that might confuse you. If John, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed man, has intercourse with Mary, the African sister with kinky hair and dark skin, the child is going to have kinky hair, dark skin, and not blue eyes. Now, this goes for 90% plus of that phenomenon. The Punnett square will show you this. It'll show you anyway. That's genetics, okay? So they have to preserve their phenotype, or they have a want or an urge to preserve their phenotype, and I feel that. But if you ain't white and you buying into this dumb shit, like, shame on your ass, man. Shame on your ass. Like, going and talking about, oh, I'm mad because they tricked me into buying an engagement ring. You're an idiot. They tricking you, and they've been tricking you, and they will continue to trick you and trick you and trick you if you're thinking, oh, they tricked me into buying an engagement ring. Idiot. Like, that's some dumb shit that you're focused on. Like, you should be focused on where the hell is that diamond coming from, and how come that whole region is fucked? Like, fucked. Why? Why is a region that produces 70% of the world's natural resources under continual strife? Because the people there are just savage, and it's some dumb shit, man. Like, people have to recognize the politics of what's going on the planet Earth here. Like, I had a whole bunch of information, could give you all kind of stats. I might put it up later or some shit, just just put some music and just put the words up or something. I don't know. Like, but this shit, like, you can get really deep with this. On the politics and on the Berlin Conference and what, but it's a really simple idea to grasp. In order for European white supremacy to be maintained on this planetary sphere, Africa cannot be a wealthy continent. Period. The only time that Africa can be considered as an economical powerhouse or wealthy continent is when all of the indigenous people have been reduced to nothing.